Hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM. Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM. Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM. Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Epa!
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is As You Answer the Call. I am Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor, welcoming you to another edition of the program. By the 31st of this month, the extended deadline for the collection of the 4.5 million naira deposit from intending pilgrims for the 2024 Hajj will come to an end. But how are intending pilgrims responding to the extension window offered them? Just as anxieties are mounted over the outcome of the first phase of the pre-Hajj visit to Saudi Arabia by Nigeria delegation. Will the visitors seek for a review of the Saudi policy ending visa issuance 15 days to the Arafat? Answers to these and other questions from the thrust of our Spotlight segment. Also in the program, we have other regular segments such as Nahcon News Diary, which highlight the activities of Nahcon and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. And on the quiz, a winner has emerged. Details will be announced in the course of the program. Stay tuned for these and more. Let's go away.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the News Diary. Keep watching.
As the Nigerian delegation rounds off the first phase of the 2024 pre-Hajj visit, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (Nahcon) has entered into an agreement with Ifra Al-Khair Company to provide service for pilgrims. The contractual deal, which was signed on Sunday the 14th of this month in Mecca, details services to be delivered to Nigerian pilgrims during the 2024 Hajj. Nahcon Chairman Malam Jalal Ahmed Arabi and Chairman of the Ifra Mutawif Company Dr. Ahmed Sindi signed all documents associated with the pact after thorough examination of packages offered by other companies that met the Nahcon team. During the signing, the Nahcon chairman cautioned officials of the company to discharge their responsibilities to pilgrims with all sincerity. Responding, Dr. Cindy promised to maintain an open line of communication in order to respond promptly to any problem or challenge, stressing the readiness of the company for teamwork.
It is the same process.
In a virtual interview, Nahcon boss expatiates more on the issues. He said Nigeria did not change Mutawif, but the Ifra Al-Khair Company is the old Muassasa that went through some transformation.
It is the same process. It is the same company, but they have a different configuration entirely now. Because that's left to the authority to determine and they determined, but that is the outlook they envisage to see. But the company renders the same services. What we did in essence is to open up as to what were the challenges in the past. Because virtually they all go, they render the same services, just like all others. But you see, once you are able to follow up on what is your arrival entitlement in terms of implementation of contracts or agreements, you are about to be shifted. There's no two about it. There's no two about it. But if you are alert, able to have your eyes on, then you will follow it step by step to make sure that there is full implementation of whatever you've agreed with the second party.
The chairman reiterated the commitment of Nahcon to ensure that the Hajj fare doesn't go beyond the 4.5 million naira and possibly have some reduction. Nahcon is expected to announce the final Hajj fare any moment soon for zones and states after computing all charges in the Hajj fare components.
We are praying that the outcome of our visits, our engagements and consultations will lower down the fare in some of the activities. Even if it doesn't go lower, I want to assure you that it's my prayer that it doesn't go higher than that.
The Director General of Kano State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Alhaji Lamin Rabiu, says the board, under the supervision of Nahcon, has secured befitting accommodation for the state contingents. He said the board is committed to enhancing the overall pilgrimage experience for Kano State pilgrims. Similarly, the Executive Secretary of Lagos State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Alhaji Sahid Onipede, has signed hard contract with service providers on accommodation and feeding. The signing took place at Nahcon office in Makkah. Still at the same office, Chairman of Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Malam Salihu Abubakar, also signed similar agreements to serve the state pilgrims during the 2024 Hajj exercise. More states, including the FCT and the Armed Forces, are also fine-tuning arrangements leading to the signing of their various contracts with service providers. In other news, Jama'atul Nasrul Islam has applauded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for constituting the Nahcon board with competent individuals. A statement to this effect signed by the JNI Secretary, Professor Khalid Abubakar Aliyu, says the gravity of the responsibility associated with Hajj management requires a competent team, calling on the appointees to bring their wealth of experience to bear on the operations of Nahcon and Hajj in general. The statement further advises Nahcon Chairman Malam Jalal Ahmad Arabi to recognize and foster the spirit of collaborative environment by leveraging on the expertise of the esteemed individuals on the board, noting that the Commission can realize its objectives and positively transform the narrative surrounding Hajj administration in Nigeria. Last week, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu constituted Nahcon's fifth board and its management team, pending confirmation by the Senate.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Nahcon, and other Hajj-related matters. Late last month, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Nahcon, January, the deadline for the payment of the 4.5 million naira Hajj deposit by intending pilgrims. Since the announcement, officials of the State Pilgrims Welfare Boards have intensified calls for intending pilgrims to take advantage of the 30 days window offered them. In our Spotlight segment, we shall be looking at the implication of not meeting the deadline, especially as it relates to the 2024 Hajj registration and visa issuance. Keep watching.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
The extension to allow intending pilgrims to make initial deposit of 4.5 million naira for the 2024 Hajj ends on the 31st of this month. Nahcon had set the 31st of December 2023 as the deadline for collection of the deposits, but it was extended to the 31st of January 2024 after the Commission received requests from stakeholders, including state governors.
Many people are now coming forward to make payments, and we are hoping to, if we don't close the quota of 2,500 488 in Adamawa. We are hopeful that we can get more than 80% of pilgrims, of allocations paid for by 31st of January. In many states, we have also discussed with the executive secretaries, executive chairmen, and directors general to the effect that there is improvement in payments by people.
Nahcon has therefore continued to remind intending pilgrims and other stakeholders that the Saudi Ministry for Hajj and Umrah has fixed 25th of February as the deadline for signing oil contracts, thus marking the end of payments into international bank accounts. This implies that any payment made after the 31st of January will not be entertained for 2024 Hajj registration. Nahcon Chairman Malan Jalal Ahmed Arabi explains this via virtual interview.
Endeavor to continue the efforts. Don't hesitate, don't hate, because nobody is sure, nobody is showing any further extension. So if the door is shut, then take it back, the door is shut because you are not meant to operate this matrix. Today is the beginning, it's still open. You have opportunity, please do it, accomplish. Don't wait, and don't be within expectation.
With this, the Saudi authorities are still not making any policy shift to adjust the time frame for the issuance of visa, which is 50 days before Arafat, or precisely Monday, the 29th of April, 2024.
Like before, the visa processing was extended towards the end of operations. Now, 50 days before Arafat, you have to process all the visa of your pilgrims. Meaning that by 29th of April, Saudi Arabia, with this new arrangement and policy, is going to close the visa processing. The portal is belongs to Saudi Arabia, and it can shut it down at any time. You have only limited access to it. So when they say by so date, the visa processing is going to stop, meaning that if you didn't hasten processing visa of your pilgrims, if you didn't determine the number of people that are going to perform Hajj, if you didn't know exact number of people who have completely paid for the Hajj this year, that means you won't be able to complete the processing visa of those pilgrims. So it is important.
One of the changes introduced by the Saudi government for the issuance of visa is the use of an electronic system known as e-track. To secure a visa for each pilgrim using the e-track entails having arrangements particularly relating to accommodation and feeding made.
You have to fulfill the following conditions. One, you have to fulfill the arrangement for all the accommodation your pilgrims are going to be accommodating in both Mecca and Medina, as well as Mashair. For the feeding process, how do you intend to engage with the service providers, that is caterers and accommodation providers? You have to do all this process online, and you have to pay all the fees attached to those services before you will be given visas.
The first phase of the pre-Hajj visit is therefore intended to give Nahcon states and tour operators the opportunity to conclude all arrangements with service providers, such as property owners, caterers, transporters, as well as the stay in Mina and Arafat, among others. Securing visa early will address many challenges, says the tour operator, whose clients missed last year's Hajj as a result of late issuance of visa.
This issue of visas we are discussing, I told you last year, I had problem because of visa. I couldn't issue my visa early, less than 60 minutes my visa before my visa dropped. About 25 of my passengers missed their flight because of that. And after they missed their flight, we could not get another flight for them until I had to buy another ticket for them. And those tickets we bought from Qatar, they say it was refundable. So you see, if we can abide by the regulations they gave us for the visa, early visa, is a very, very good decision for us, and it's going to help us a lot. When we have our visa, they say March or April, alhamdulillah. So we determine all that are going every day, you have your visa, you have to make it, so no much problem.
While early payment will help Nahcon and other stakeholders to plan ahead, it will also address the challenges of space in Muna, as the Saudi government has reiterated its position on dealing with countries on the basis of first come, first serve. This means when Nigerian intending pilgrims make early payment to service providers in Saudi, it will get the space proportionate to its number of pilgrims and closer to Jamarat. It is therefore pertinent for Nigerian intending pilgrims to shun the old method of pay-as-you-go and embrace other means of raising Hajj funds such as the Hajj Savings Scheme. Current trends in Hajj and Umrah management as designed by the Saudi authorities will shape the form the Hajj exercise will take in the near future. It is therefore essential for all stakeholders in Hajj management in Nigeria to keep abreast of the development and make plans on how Nigeria will fit into the new thinking of Saudi Arabia. The present-day Hajj administration shows that it can no longer be business as usual for countries that are late in making payments to service providers in Saudi Arabia. This therefore implies a change in attitude and ways of doing things.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Tonight, Imam Muhammad Ma'aruf Raji takes us through discussion on Muharram or guidance for women and other rules associated with how women should prepare for Hajj. Let's hear him.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
When undertaking the journey for Hajj or Umrah, it is a requirement for women to have a male guardian known as Mahram, who is recommended to be a Mahram among the male. What are the duties of a Mahram?
So it can be either the husband, the brother, or blood relation. Even
on making the Hajj tonight, Imam Muhammad Ma'aruf Raji answers this and other questions. He begins by explaining the concept of Hajj.
Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam. As said by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his hadith, that bunya al-Islam ala ams, sa'adatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah wa iqam as-salat wa ita'i as-zakat wa sawm Ramadan wa ajj al-bayt liman istata'a ilayhi as-sabil. Islam is being built on 5 pillars, and the last one, which is the Hajj, for those who have the means, financial and health capability. So it's a pillar that will make you to be called a perfect Muslim.
When women are set to go for Hajj, Islam enjoins them to travel with a Muharram. A Muharram is a person who she is forever forbidden to marry because of blood ties.
Muharram supposed to be either husband or blood relation or even son of a woman, for the purpose of safety and security. For the purpose of safety and security. So it can be either the husband, the brother, or blood relation, even the son. I didn't talk of the son of minor. I mean a mature son of a woman can be a Muharram. And for the purpose of what? For the purpose of safety and security of the woman.
The Islamic scholar further expatiates this position using one of the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
In an hadith of Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تسفر المرأة إلا مع ذي محرم. A woman should not travel except with a Muharram. That is a directive from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And whoever obeys the Messenger of Allah as obey Allah. So the Prophet said, "La tusaffir al-mar'a." Women should not travel illa ma'a si muharram, except with a muharram, whether husband, whether brother, whether father, whether blood relation rights.
However, considering the dynamics in societal transformation, some Islamic jurisprudence have other interpretations.
It was this hadith that I quoted is an argument of some scholars, some school of thought, like Hanafi. Hanafi said it's mandatory. Maliki school of thought, he said it's not mandatory. You can see the school of thought on this very particular hadith that I quoted. You understand? So on that light, if we have an organized, as one of the explanation of Husayni, when some Imam Husayni rahimahullah, when some question was thrown to him in respect of the current way of moving people to Mecca through plane, right? That's a through plane, there is security in the plane. Then if it is for the purpose of security and safety, I think the plane is secure from attack of inhuman man to be attacking woman. That Imam Hussein in hindsight, yes, we have developed onto that.
And so, with this, can an organized group such as Hajj Commission and State Pilgrims Welfare Boards stand as Muharram for women?
Context-wise, they cannot be called a Muharram. Context-wise, because a Muharram has a definition, right? A guardian, whether a father, a brother, an husband, right? But an entity can never be woman, but they can organize a security. If they organize well, if it is well secured, then Malikiya school of thought can be adopted. But to be called a Muharram, wrong. But if as an organized organization have provided a good security and safety, I think it's good.
Imam Muhammad Raji encourages Muslims to take advantage of every opportunity to learn more about Hajj and Umrah.
Alhamdulillah, we shall continue the discussion in the next edition of the program. Now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, name the persons on whose behalf Hajj al-Badal can be performed. The correct answer is dead person and terminally ill person. The winner is Nabila Sani from Gombe State. She provided the answer ahead of others. Nabila Sani will be contacted on how Nahcon will reach her with the prize she won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 naira cash prize. This is part of Nahcon's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, name 3 persons that can stand as mahram for a woman going for Hajj. Again, name 3 persons that can stand as mahram for a woman going for Hajj. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing. Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages. Adini Ilaide from Oyo State sent in the first message. It reads, I commend Nahcon and the federal government for the extension of the 2024 Hajj fare payment deadline to the 31st of January. May Allah reward you abundantly. The second message came from Hussein Okene. It says, I appreciate the good work of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Nahcon. I wish the Commission Allah's guidance and protection. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Once again, thanks for watching. Ma'assalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك